Washington witnessed an extraordinary scene on Friday, just as President Donald Trump's name was being removed from the Kennedy Center. Crowds gathered outside the iconic performing arts venue as workers erected scaffolding and prepared to dismantle the final letters bearing Trump's name. And then, something unexpected happened. A double rainbow suddenly appeared over the Kennedy Center. The striking sight immediately sent social media into a frenzy. Several people watching the moment called it symbolic and even poetic. One user wrote, quote, "It's like poetic justice how there's a double rainbow outside the John F. Kennedy Center as Trump's name is being removed." Another person said, quote, "The world agrees with this. Dare I say God agrees as well with the double rainbow?" Others described the rainbow as the heavens celebrating the removal of Trump's name from the landmark building. And as construction crews continued their work, the crowd reportedly applauded, cheering as the president's name moved one step closer to disappearing from the center. The dramatic moment came after U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper ruled that Trump's name had been unlawfully added to the Kennedy Center and ordered that it be removed. The ruling sparked an intense legal fight. Trump's hand-picked board at the Kennedy Center launched a last-minute effort to keep his name on the building, arguing that major changes should wait until appeals were resolved. But their final attempt failed. The center had already begun removing references to Trump elsewhere. Its website no longer displayed his name, and official materials once again referred to the venue simply as the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, or the Kennedy Center. The controversy marks yet another chapter in Trump's turbulent relationship with the institution. Despite largely ignoring the Kennedy Center during his first term, Trump moved quickly after returning to office to reshape its leadership, replacing officials and installing a new board that named him chairman. Now, with the court-imposed deadline looming, scaffolding surrounding the building, crowds cheering outside, and a double rainbow stretching across the Washington sky, many online are asking the same question. Was it just a coincidence, or, as some called it, a sign from above? This comes as President Donald Trump is also facing fresh backlash after proudly sharing photos of Washington, D.C.'s iconic Arts of War sculptures being covered in gold, while critics argue millions of Americans are still struggling to afford basic necessities.
The president posted images on Truth Social showing workers re-gilding the historic statues ahead of America's 250th Independence Day celebrations next month. According to Trump, the massive sculptures will be fully covered with a thick layer of 23.75 karat gold leaf by July 3rd. Trump also praised the project, revealing that specialist gilders had been brought in from across the country to complete the work. The restoration comes after Interior Secretary Doug Burgum ordered the statues to be re-gilded for the first time since 1971. But while the administration is celebrating the makeover, critics are asking a very different question. How much is all of this costing taxpayers? As per the Irish Star, the gold restoration project could cost as much as $5 million, and that figure quickly sparked outrage online. Social media users wasted little time attacking the project. One critic wrote, quote, "We just want to afford gas, groceries, housing, and health care." Another mocked Trump's priorities, writing, quote, "Always keeping the people's top needs and concerns in mind." A third critic dubbed the president, quote, Grandpa Goldfinger, arguing Americans are struggling with groceries, rent, and rising living costs, while Trump posts updates about gold-plated horse statues. But the criticism didn't stop there. Several art enthusiasts argued the restoration itself may be unnecessary. The Arts of War sculptures were originally created in bronze. Critics pointed out that bronze statues are not intended to be gold, and warned that re-gilding could diminish the artwork's historic character. One commenter argued, quote, gilding a bronze statue is a waste of money and destroys the artwork. The Gold Project is just one of several renovations Trump has championed in Washington. The president has also overseen changes to the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, which he previously described as filthy and dirty. That restoration included giving the historic pool a new lining in a color described as American flag blue. Trump's administration argues the upgrades are restoring national landmarks ahead of major patriotic celebrations.
We have a big day today because this is, as you probably have been watching, so from 1922 to present, it really never worked. It leaked and was bad, and it looked terrible. It's supposed to be beautiful. It was opened in 1922, and it always leaked, and it was a problem. It's called the Great Reflecting Pool between the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial. And I just had this done. You're getting a first glimpse, but that's your size compared. So those are compared to, those are among. We did a fantastic job, and Department of Interior was amazing. Doug Burgum, really absolutely amazing. And you're gonna have something you're gonna be very proud of, and it'll last for 50 to 100 years before you have to do anything with it. Very strong, powerful substance that we used. And we picked a color called American Flag Blue. We had color choices. And before it was just gray, it was a color of concrete and stone. So it's gonna be really special. I thought you'd like to see it. And the work ends on the pool. We also did a lot more than we anticipated. We did all of the sidewalks outside of the pool where people walk or they stand. That's where Martin Luther King made his great speech.
And a secure America is a safe America. What we're going to do here, the EO you're going to sign, that's about a $20 to $30 billion a year EO you're going to get, because we are going to crack down with this detective border that CBP is putting in innovatively. We're going to crack down on the fentanyl. We're going to crack down on the unhealthy products, the counterfeits, and all the tariff evaders. So this is a message to the world today. When you sign this, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and this is what Donald Trump does. He secures our borders, and not just physically, but in terms of trade. The new customs border is going to be awesome.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a nice one. Okay, what else do you have?
This is another executive order on reforms to the federal workforce, sir. Currently, with respect to many policy-making positions in the departments and agencies across government, we lack the ability, because of existing personnel rules, to effectively discipline or promote people who are in policy-making roles. This executive order follows on a number of previous executive orders. The end goal is making the federal workforce more accountable and ensuring that people, particularly in policy-making roles, aren't unaccountable to the wishes of the administration.
It's been a long-standing problem that it's almost impossible to fire a federal employee, even in cases of serious misconduct. And as a result, if you have employees who are trying to undermine the wishes of the American people by pushing their own agenda or just incompetent at what they're doing, agencies have a long-standing difficult time getting rid of them. And that's a particular problem if you're in a senior policy influencing role where you're controlling the policies of the entire agency. What this does is basically treats those employees like private sector workers. They're going to be hired on the basis of merit and competence. But if they're messing up, then they can be removed quickly rather than taking a year longer
That's
to get
great.
rid of them.
That's great. And you were very much involved in it?
I was, sir.
Is this guy Central
This is
Casting?
baby, sir.